I did. I don't know. Maybe that's my rule.
I love it. All right. Okay, Hyan, I think you have the first item on the agenda.
So my first item here is about the discussion Jackie and I had this week on UX coverage. Because I'm going out of office for, I calculated 15 days. That's quite a lot. And we discussed about the CI/CD director dashboard and that prototyping will be reassigned to Juan, well, initially Juan, during this period. And I asked if Nadia has any concerns related to that. So if you want to voice them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We discussed this with Jackie a bit already last week. And also I know that Juan was very open helping other stage groups in CI/CD. And also I know that he's super fast in prototyping, like he's a guru of prototypes. So I think he's really a suitable person here. And also he had quite some experience with doing dashboards and reporting for testing. So by all of the means, I think he's great replacement here. So yeah, I'm totally ok with that. Question that I had, if there is anything that I can catch up with in order to make sure that if Juan has any questions, I can help. We have Jackie still, but just asking if there is anything that I can be supporting you with.
Yeah, I think it's best that maybe we can do a half an hour sync just to go over it, and I can also talk to him a little bit about background and the prototyping, because we have some things on Figma, and then we can record it.
Yeah, you mean also inviting Juan, or just like me and you and then recording?
With Juan as well, I think it's best.
I would love to join that. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Schedule that.
And I'm not quite sure also with the new product OKR and push to focus on existing usage. I don't know why I just slurred my words there. I promise I haven't been drinking. The existing usage of our features, like this would be a whole new offering for the CI/CD section. So, as we start to go down this route of prototyping and investing in this new feature, we might want to consider how this aligns with the product priorities that we're shifting to.
Do you mean, Jackie, that we won't have the components existing for whatever we're going to come up with probably, and this will go against the OKR that we have, like 100% of new features created in Q3 should be using the pajamas?
More like we should only be prioritizing usability of existing features from a product standpoint. There's this focus from Anoop and Scott that product managers had to acknowledge that we're going to be focusing on the usability of existing features. This would be a new feature addition, and it is also super cross-functional between verify and release. So we may decide that this isn't something that we want to prioritize given that new push to focus on existing feature usability. I just wanted to call that out as a risk that we're kind of going up against. Like, although we validated this concept in the opportunity canvas months ago, and we started to chip away at it with the group releases prototypes and this prototype, and we learned that people didn't really like the existing prototypes that we have for the CI/CD director dashboard, but they love it for group releases. So we were able to I don't know if we'll end up prioritizing the CI/CD director dashboard given the renewed focus on the usability of existing features.
I see. Yeah, I hear you. So what you're saying is that we may not commit to that in the coming milestones or milestone.
Yeah, because leadership is instructing us to focus more on existing usability.
Yeah, I guess, this is where we probably are looking up to you, Jackie, to give advice here, and then we will follow, I guess.
Definitely. I think it's worth still prototyping with Juan, but as we start to get down the actual build phase, it'll eventually have to get prioritized between verify and release from a shipment of features. So that turnaround time might not be as fast as we would hope it to be.
Yeah,
I think it's a good opportunity for us to have a conversation around design for the dashboard. So even if we don't prioritize this now, I think it's half an hour. We can quickly go over with one, and then by the time we merge things, there's more common knowledge on the topic.
Totally.
Yeah, agree.
Awesome. And then quickly, I'm just gonna invite Juan and Dimitri to the thing, or Juan/Dimitri. I think Dimitri is already participating in some of the Think Big sessions, but whoever's covering for me, just a heads up, I'm gonna add them to the Think Big sessions. The other team calls, I don't think it's worth because I'm not too many calls, but I think it's good too.
I think the weekly release management meeting, Dimitri's already attending, and I think he'll probably be the one that ends up fielding the most in intra milestone work anyways. Because the CI/CD director dashboard is more kind of like a global optimization.
Yeah, I guess we may wanna make this well known to Juan as well. Like, hey, we have those meetings. Just maybe he wants to check the notes afterwards. I'm not sure if that's a good idea for him to join every meeting, but like, yeah, maybe he wants to be up to date or just have the opportunity to have a look at those.
You can add him as optional. I can. If Nadia, do you want to like flag him to let him know that he'll be added to the release management meetings and they're not required, and let me know. I don't want him to get added to meetings and be like, Jackie, why are you adding me to all these meetings?
You can go ahead and add him. Okay. I'm talking to him in like half an hour or hour.
Beautiful.
So beautiful. I will let him know.
Yeah, and then just a heads up that Dimitri will be out of office as well while I'm out of office. That's why he's not covering for me. And then next topic is you, Jackie, with the non-community.
So I finally finished. I need to go back and transcribe the feedback that I've put in Dovetail as user insights inside of the UXR repository, because I had to like look through the documentation in the Google Doc and the handbook, and it doesn't look like research has updated the handbook yet for this new protocol. Or if they have, I don't have the handbook link for it. So I just need to create those insights in the repository. But this this opportunity canvas I just chatted here, and I'll drop it in our agenda, is the justification for our environment's dashboard redesign. So this one is really aligned with all of the OKRs insofar as we're instrumenting pajamas in it. We are focusing on usability of an existing feature set, and we're driving paid SMAU with the dashboard. So I think that this will be a really great opportunity for us to focus on driving tier value in the release management stage, while also tackling some of the things that we get really dinged on from an analyst perspective, and also supporting legacy deployments, which is a weakness that we have in GitLab. So really excited for this opportunity canvas, presenting it on Tuesday to Anoop, and hopefully we'll get the stamp of approval to start working on this redesign. I think it's going to be like 5 milestones worth of effort. Because we have the pagination that we're going to deliver, which is a really big piece of scope. Then we have filtering and sorting. And then we have changing the interactions of adding an environment versus a project to the dashboard. And then adding a heat map widget. And then creating templates for the environment's dashboard. So those are all like super huge, both back and front end features that we'll be intensively developing. So I could see us dedicating teammates to that after we get the designs finalized. So over the next 3 milestones, Ayan and I will work on the designs for the work that isn't already designed, and then we'll put it for the engineers to deliver. The engineers are going to be subsequently delivering release notes features between now and 13.7, while Hyan and I are working on designs for the environment's dashboard. So that's how I'm thinking of staging the sequencing of this work. And I'm really excited. Hopefully when we do get reevaluated for release orchestration from an analyst, we'll have something there to show that you can coordinate and orchestrate releases from the front end.
Awesome, this is exciting.
Jackie, do you get these recordings uploaded to Unfiltered? Because sometimes I want to also find from other PMs, and I don't think everything is available. So I just wanted to...
They get added to each of the individual stages. Okay. So what I think we should think about doing is creating a playlist of opportunity campuses. So let me ping Christy inside of the product channel, and ask her if this is something that she can help support us on.
Because there's like there's a sheet, a file with just a list of like links for the opportunity canvases for everything, but I don't think it's the best way to organize that. So hopefully this will be awesome. Cool.
I think that, Hannah, you have the next one.
Yes. So I just added here my weekly plan, my personal issue, and just a heads up, I have quite an influx of merge requests since last week because Dimitri is out of office and I'm covering for him, but also a lot of pajamas and migration things to review. So these are very time-consuming tasks. So just a heads up in case I'm not super responsive. It's because GDK, it's a pain. But then I'm following the top bottom of the stash order for the new UX review. So if you're curious about the other things, you can check my weekly plan.
Got it.
And
priority, I stack rank the items in your need UX review. So priorities, obviously the stuff that we're focusing on in 13.5. You advised that the skeleton loader should be a pretty low lift. So that's why we have that one above the 13.6 feature. And then I have expand environments per project on the environments dashboard. My expectation here is that this might be the start of our redesign effort, given that this is the second part of pagination. The first part of pagination was adding more environments or more projects. This is adding more environments per project. So it would be interesting to prioritize this over something like sorting releases by date, name, and milestones. I also think that sorting releases by date, name, and milestones has the pajamas spec on it already. So this is more like in your queue. So if Jake has feedback while he's working on it, he can ping you.
yeah, sounds good. And it makes sense since I'm now on share production environments across projects. So it also helps me if I'm working on things that are related, the last context switch.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm reviewing today the pagination because Jake already has an awesome merge request. So I don't think there's any UX walkers on that. So excited.
And then the last thing I have on here is about just the CI/CD dashboard. We briefly talked about it before. I just don't know if, given our environments dashboard redesign, release notes with dog fooding, and all the other work that we're having to do between vacations and that stuff, that we'll be able to take on the CI/CD dashboard effort. So I don't think it's that big of a loss. It is kind of disappointing because we wanted to ship something that was cross-functional, but I think that group releases and the environments dashboard will be more usable for our stage anyway.
So you are mentioning, Jackie, due to the product direction that we just discussed earlier, and also due to like the high workload and like some taking time off, etc., etc. So all of those stuff.
All of these things. It's just poor timing for that feature set, I think.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, anything that we could make sure that we don't like let this completely fall, and like what we just discussed, that we're gonna at least try to do the prototypes with one, just like you said in the beginning, right?
Yep, exactly.
And try to find your PM coverage issue, Jackie, the one you opened I think last Friday. Because I want to.
Oh yeah,
the items there that was related to interviews, I think customer interviews.
Mm-hmm. My expectation is that this is effective September 1st. So this week I have a bunch of stuff covered so that I can help drive and support those conversations. Here is this one. So with the GitLab China project, Stella, the chief of staff, is going out of office. My hat was thrown in the ring to take on this from a program management standpoint, and I accepted. So I will be the program manager for our company's initiative to create a China entity for GitLab. And this project will last until January 1st. And she said it was only going to be like a 15-hour per week commitment. And that is exactly like how much time I spend interviewing customers on average. So eventually, I think that there's going to be some opportunity to like trade off other tasks so I can drive customer interviews. But for things that you're working on, like right now for validation, if you wanted to run them by customers, I think we would need to create like a UX research recruiting request and go through that way to source interviews. And of course I can try to like work with our internal account teams to find people, but I don't foresee having a bunch of free time to drive interviews with customers when this project starts picking up. But we can play it by ear. I just wanted to flag you for that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just wanted to align if you're referring to solution validation in your, so that's it. Okay, cool.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get asked to attend customer calls just from a product functionality standpoint. You do not need to take those. It really is just prototype focused features.
Okay. And then for the which ones that we have interviews this week, for the maturity scorecard, you're already including like in your until September 1st, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my goal is to have all of our interviews for the maturity scorecard done by August 31st. We currently have 5 scheduled, so hopefully we'll be able to like beeline that maturity scorecard and grade it and then move secrets management because it's due in October.
Okay. I just want to see quickly here about the maturity scorecard.
Since it's a minimal move, we only have to interview internal candidates, and we need 5 of them for each persona. The persona that the JWT is built for is for software developer. So we're going to be focusing on the solution architects here at GitLab, who are software developers for selling our product.
Do you want to kind of like define which tasks we're going to share? Because I know that you already put it together in the document, so I just want to align. Exactly.
What do you want to align on? Sorry, it's already written down. Like we have the scenario built out, like scenario 1.
No, aligning the tasks like because you have to document the things and write all the insights and organize the data. So I just want to align with you.
Oh, like the data part. Yeah. So after we do the interview, we'll have all of the grading score, and my intent is just to aggregate those scores and update them per hour per the process. So it doesn't seem like document success failure flows of your job to be done scenarios. We do need to define like the flow.
Yeah. I'll go over today. I haven't read yet the document.
Okay.
Go and then I'll leave my comments here.
Yeah, because it looks like UX light scores, success failure, time on task, and error rate.
And also this is what I need to do. I need to provide a prototype. So this you don't have yet, right?
Oh, I don't think we need to provide a prototype for this. I think that we need them to use the production state.
Yeah.
So they'll be in their own account and they'll be using their own vault, and they'll be setting up the JWT for their vault.
Okay, then that's easier, because
Yeah.
our call is like put a test project all together, but if they're gonna use the
Yeah, I've talked to all of them because most of them have already set this up before. So we're giving them, like, the scenario that I have written down here is you're a software developer, your boss has given you a link to GitLab's new documentation for setting up HashiCorp Vault. Show us how you would set up the JWT inside of GitLab, and they'll use their own vault link because it's about bring your own vault, you know. The whole product set is right now.
We'll have a read here, and then I'll leave the comments today.
Okay, perfect. And then, yeah, so I think when we take notes, we just need to make sure that we just follow through on, like, the success failures. And I'm not quite sure where exactly we document these other than in Dovetail. It doesn't look like there's other instructions as far as, like, we need to create another repository for user insights on success failure. It just looks like we're doing it in Dovetail.
Yeah, I think so. I've seen other designers that are doing the process right now, and I think we have a channel. I'll just
Okay.
Scorecard. Yeah. Oh, no messages yet.
Oh, I love that when I open up channels and, like, no one's engaged in the last 90 days.
But I know Daniel Mora, he's doing it, so I'll ping him. Because if someone found I don't know, easy process, but I think a Dovetail will be enough. Especially that we have this, we don't have a flexible question, so it's not.
Yeah, I tried to really, like, hone in on the primary job to be done here. Looking at, like, what are the expectations for the minimal move, and, like, that is exactly what the JWT is for. So I think it should be pretty straightforward and lean. Obviously, though, as we start to move secrets management to complete, those are going to be really big. Like, we'll have a really long series of validations, and probably like 15 people will need to interview for that.
And do we already have Lori to review this?
Yes, I already pinged her on it.
Okay.
And she said, I actually asked her, can you review these jobs to be done and give me feedback? And she's like, oh, they look great to me. What questions do you have? And I was like, awesome. All right, I guess that's good enough. Since it's internal, I don't think we'll be giving people gift cards for this. Do you know? Okay.
And their salaries.
I was like, yo, money. Awesome. I think we're a little over time, but thank you, Hayana, for walking me through that. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Right.
Thanks both.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye.
Yeah,